Would you work twice as many hours or put in twice the work for no extra pay, or should I say, even worse, a pat on the back, just to prove to yourself that you're equal to your fellow person? That's a mug's game, right? Oh.
You're crazy. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I?
Right, so the other day I caught the tail end of a live stream, and the host is what I would say the kind of guy that's from the nationalist side of the game, you know, your patriotic British person. And he was there with his two cohorts, and they were talking about the US election according to the caption, that is. Now, like I said, I caught the tail end, but since then I have gone back and watched it in its entirety, right? And, you know, it makes me laugh when I hear people talk about, you know, when someone's, how can I put it? You know, when people are talking about, you ever heard a group of people having a conversation and they're talking about a specific group of people, but they're very clever as in not to say who that group of people are, but they keep dropping references to them. So, for example, you could be talking about, let's say, crime in an area, and then as you're having this conversation on crime, you keep dropping in Black Lives Matter. Yeah, and yeah, you know, there's high crime, there's high burglary in the area. Oh yeah, and by the way, Black Lives Matter. And yeah, there was a car got robbed the other day, and oh, by the way, Black Lives Matter. You know, that kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how the show went altogether, right? But that was not why I stopped and thought this was interesting. It's what the last caller had to say that I want to focus on today, right? And because she was she referred to herself, and she called to say that she's a mixed race woman, and she's half white and half Nigerian. So I think she was born here, so forth and so on, right? And it's what she said right at the end that made me giggle, right? Because it made no sense to me.
I get it. We've always been told black people, you've got to work 10 times as hard as your next colleague or something like that. The person telling me that, that's your level of ignorance. I'm going to work 10 times as harder as the next person because I know where I want to be. Not because that person is white and I'm black and I need to work harder than them. No, I'm going to work harder than them because it's a job satisfaction for myself. It's an enrichment for myself. You know, everything I do is for myself.
And then this is where it got interesting for me, because she started to talk about her merit, yeah, or where she sees herself in the community or sees herself in society as someone that's gone to as someone that's done everything right. Yeah, gone to university, worked hard, XYZ, right? And what I find interesting is this. She pointed out that, how can I say it? You know, the affirmative action argument, I think it is. That's kind of like the road I'm going to go down, right? She's kind of pointing out that, you know what, she doesn't want to get a job, right, because she's black. She wants to get a job based on her merit, that she's qualified to do the job, which is totally understandable. I get that 100%, right? But then she brings up this notion, you know, like I said the other day about how, you know, within black communities, there's always been this idea that you have to work 10 times harder than your white counterpart just to be seen as equal, right? She herself said that she doesn't agree with that. She dismisses that. She says that, look, I just want to I worked hard, I went to university, I've studied this, I've got my degree, I've got my I'm confident as a person, I've done the job that I need, and so I've got the qualification to get the job. I should get the job based on my merit and no more, right? 100 so far. But then she goes on to say that she's willing to work 2 times, 3 times, 4 times harder than anybody else to prove to herself that she's equal or deserving of that job. And this is where it just went, hey, what? Makes no sense to me. In the sense that if you are already confident in yourself that you are qualified just like anybody else to do a specific job, then why on earth are you going to do 2 times, 3 times, 4 times more than your counterpart just to prove to yourself that you are qualified to do the job? I don't get that. That makes no sense to me. And to me, that opens yourself up to a whole heap of exploitation there, right? Because your boss or your management, they're going to see that. They're going to, oh, look, so-and-so's did it. And they're just going to pile a shitload of work on you. And if you're going to do it for free or a pat on the back or to prove it to yourself, surely that's a mug's game, right? Because while everyone else is going down to the pub and having a good time or going to the pictures or going chilling with their kids or whatever it is, you're the sucker in the office by yourself going there, yeah, I'm working so hard, I deserve this. Nah, bro, nah. But you know what, right? Just to clarify my point a little bit more, I'm going to play you a classic.
So true that Mouth Almighty over there's got the contract.
Well, let's just say his favourite. His estimate's by far the lowest.
How much is he doing it for?
Oh, come on. It's confidential, isn't it?
No, it's not. No, come on. Brendan and I, well, I mean, we're like that.
I don't suppose it matters who knows. He's bragging about it himself now. Now he reckons he'll do it for £1,000.
Grand, eh? And who decides which estimate to accept?
I do.
Michael, could I have a word in your shell, like? I might be able to offer you a much better deal, my son. I could get this pub decorated to exactly the same standard as Brendan, and it would cost your brewery a mere £2,000.
2,000?
That must be a tempting offer, eh, Rob?
Well, he's a born businessman, isn't he? Hang about. But why should I turn down an offer of £1,000 and accept one of 2,000?
Because of all the advantages it has to offer, like my specialised profit-sharing scheme. Let me explain how it works. The £2,000 would be dispersed thus. There would be £500 for who, £500 for thee.
What, you mean I'll get 500 quid?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and what happens to the 1,000 that's left over?
We give that to the Irishman and let him do the job.
Got a deal, Mr. Trotter?
Brendan, can I have a word? He's a pretty boy.
Thanks for watching, you know what I'm saying? And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.
Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes.